Hi YouTube, welcome back and thank you for tuning in. Today I'm going to discuss quiet times of the year and we'll have a look at week 12 earnings. So quiet times of the year, chances are if you have been delivering on the app over the last month or so, you've probably had some quiet hours. Here in Adelaide we've had school holidays, that always changes up the cycle of things. And in addition we had Easter and the Anzac Day long weekends back to back. People tend to travel on long weekends, so I always find that the middle of that weekend, Saturday, Sunday, is fairly quiet. And I guess with the relaxing of all the restrictions, travel restrictions around the country, people have probably maybe tended to travel more this year. So coming up to a year on the platform, and this is what I have observed about the quiet periods. So number one, there seems to be an abundance of promotions when it's quiet. So Uber tends to send promotions generally when it's quiet. So why do they offer promotions when it's quiet? I believe that because it's quiet and you're seeing your base rate potentially drop by even 20-30%, Uber is trying to keep your pay rate high in those quiet periods by incentivizing you with the promotion. With the promotion, that adds back those extra, $5-6 per hour that you would be missing out on if you didn't have a promotion. Uber doesn't want you to get upset and walk out or go to another platform or quit because you're having some quiet days. They know it's going to be busy again in a couple of weeks, so they pay you the promotion to keep you going, and then you'll be there when they need you in a couple of weeks. Basically, this is a retention strategy. The second thing I've noticed is they send jobs early. I find when it's really quiet, you may have to wait longer at restaurants, and that's something you probably need to factor in, because if you are like me and you tend to cancel and walk out if you know it's going to be a long wait, when it's really quiet, you probably can't afford to do that as much. It feels to me like the jobs get to you quicker when it's quiet, so they dispatch the jobs to the driver quicker, and the restaurant is not ready. So when you get to the restaurant, you have to wait for a little while. Anyway, the reason that this is important is because you just need to adjust your timings and your expectations when it's quiet, so that you make sure that you are not missing out on jobs just because you've cancelled, because you might cancel a job and then you have to wait another 10-20 minutes to get another job. So you definitely don't want to cancel everything just because of wait times when it's quiet. So when it's quiet, you just need to recognize that it's quiet and maybe be a little bit more open to waiting, or accepting orders that you may not necessarily normally accept because it is quiet. One strange one that I've seen is that being in a surge zone does not equal receiving trip offers. So I've seen this a number of times over the recent school holidays and also over the Christmas New Year period earlier this year, where I've been in a surge area on the app and just not receiving any not receiving any trips. I can't exactly work this one out, but I believe if I've declined an order because it doesn't pay enough or whatever it is, I don't like the restaurant, if you decline that order and you're waiting for the next order to come along, if someone else has picked up the order that you've declined, they're more likely to get an add-on rather than Uber sending you a new trip. If Uber has assigned a job to someone in a quiet period and then another job comes up that's even remotely in the same direction for that driver, they are absolutely going to send that to the driver who has the first trip, because they can send an add-on for $3, $4, $5. Whereas if they send it to you, who's waiting for a fresh trip, it might be $7 or $8. So it saves them money sending the add-on. Why would they pay you $7 to $10 for the same trip that they can send to someone else for $3 to $5? They also know that that driver is likely to take the add-on because it's quiet. Everyone's saying it's quiet, I'm waiting for an order. So if you get another order, a second order, or an add-on order, you're quite likely to take that order. The other reason is there's a lot of quest promotions around when it's quiet. So drivers want to do the trips. So if they're getting an add-on order that maybe is not great, they're still likely to take it because they're trying to get trips. So as soon as you start declining orders when it's quiet, sometimes that can see you sitting on the side of the road waiting. The fourth thing that I've noticed is that Monday of the long weekend is money time. People are coming back from the long weekend. They don't want to cook. Takeaway is always busy on the public holiday Monday. Take a look at these earnings over the Easter Monday and the Anzac Day Monday as an example. So you can see both of those Mondays were really good earning rates, lots of orders around, big surge, good time to work. So what does all this mean? What do I do when it's quiet? So if you are receiving quests, I think the number one priority for you is to get the trips done, get them done quickly. So definitely, if I'm working on a quest at a quiet time, my priority is trips. I don't really care about the dollars. I don't really care about the kilometers or the distance. I'll still look at restaurant because restaurant can affect whether I want to pick it up. At the end of the day, you still don't want to go to a restaurant where you're going to wait 25 minutes. But I'm not so worried about the price of the trip. I just want to get all the trips done. If you can achieve your quest promotion in a short period of time, then the quest bonus divided by the number of hours you work, gives you a nice add-on for your hourly rate. If you haven't received quests and it's quiet and you still want to drive, that's fine, but you just need to know that your hourly rate might be a little bit down compared to normal. And that's okay. These things have a habit of working themselves out over time. So over a 3-month period, things will all even out. But just know that if you're driving on a quiet time, you're not going to get the same result as you are going to get at a busy time. You definitely need to be prepared to wait longer at restaurants when it's quiet, wait longer at restaurants, and potentially take some trips that you wouldn't normally take. Adjust your timing accordingly when you're picking up at restaurants, and maybe broaden your scope of trips and offers that you are prepared to accept. This will give you the best chance of receiving offers and just keep that pick up and drop off happening so that you keep earning money. Definitely work Monday on the public holiday weekends if you are able to. Out of all the public holidays in the last sort of year, I've been on the app for almost a year. The only one that I didn't really see a great return or a great result was the Adelaide Cup long weekend. And maybe everyone was just too trashed from the horse whipping. I mean, the animal cruelty. I mean, the lovely highbrow equestrian event. Anyway, work Mondays if you can. Okay, so over to earnings for the penultimate week. So week 12, my earnings were $813.80, and this was supported by $190 in quest bonus. I worked 22.7 hours and the hourly rate was $35.85 per hour. Now the quarter to date is $5,744.29 over 170.6 hours, and that equates to $33.67 per hour. Wow, we're getting pretty close to that $34 per hour. It's very close. One more week to go. So yeah, stay tuned. See how we go next week. Hopefully $34 per hour. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I will hopefully see you next week for the final installment of the this quarter's weekly earnings.